Hey, what's going on, guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Out in the beautiful Uinta Mountains. Today we're going to talk about hiking at higher elevations and how you prepare for hiking at higher elevations. But this video is actually a collaboration with three other YouTube channels, three other individuals: Tim Watson, Subaru Josh Ebersole, and Josh Herod Outdoors, something like that. Also goes by Karate Josh. So if you watch Tim Watson's channel, you know the Joshes because they spent a lot of time hiking with him. Now, the reason that we're even talking about this is because those three actually happen to be coming out here to Utah to be hiking and backpacking in this area with me at some point in July. So they're flying out from Ohio and they're going to be spending some time with me for about 5 days as I essentially guide them through the Uintas to show them this area that I spend a lot of time backpacking in. If you watch the channel, you know that. So let's just go ahead and dive into this and talk about how I prepare for hiking at higher elevations, higher altitudes. Now, I live at 4,500 feet at my house, give or take a few. And so I'm much higher in elevation than a lot of people are over on the East Coast and just east of the Mississippi in general. So there's aspects of how I prepare for hiking in the higher altitudes that are different than somebody that is coming from lowland, if you will. The first thing is acclimatizing hikes. Now, that's really important because on average, these areas are going to be upwards of 10,000 feet in elevation. And really, once you get above about 9,000 feet, you're in an area that can cause altitude sickness and things physically to your body that can be really dangerous. And so it's really important for me to do acclimatizing hikes several weeks in the days and such prior to. I'll even take drives into higher elevations just so that I can get my blood oxygen content used to being at that higher elevation. And it's really important to be able to get the lungs acclimatized, we'll just use that word again, for that kind of scenario. The other thing about this is typically higher elevations have a lot of gain and loss on the trails, and so because of that, you need to get out and just hike. You need to train your body, train your muscles, and be prepared for a lot more up and down elevation gain and loss at the higher elevations. The next thing that I like to do to prepare is I like to hike with a loaded pack. So today was out hiking, came down to a different area to film these videos, but I had about a 30-pound pack, my Gregory Optic 48, to see how I liked that and to just have some weight on my back to start preparing for longer trips, especially at higher altitude. So today we were hiking at about 10,500 feet, and that is just more time at higher elevation with a loaded pack that as I'm spending that much more time in that higher elevation, my body's going to be more fit, more prepared for hiking at a longer period of time at a higher elevation. The next thing that I do to prepare is make sure that I have items in my pack that allow me to handle any kind of altitude sickness type of situation. Last year, I went hiking with a friend and I was really exhausted the night before. I had worked really hard and was just really tired. So I went backpacking the next day, upwards of 11,500 feet, and just was not having it. My body just was not happy at all. And I didn't really have the things with me necessary to take care of that. And it didn't get real serious, but it's important to pay attention to how am I going to stay hydrated, what kinds of drugs am I going to have with me, like ibuprofen, that kind of thing, to make sure that I am taking care of any kind of symptoms that would be coming along with high altitude or just altitude sickness in general. Now, the last thing is when I'm out doing training hikes, and even when I'm out on the trail of the physical hike that I'm doing that I've been preparing for, I like to really pay attention to managing my heart rate, focusing on where my heart rate is, where am I getting to the point that I need to feel like I need to take a break? And when I'm doing that, it helps me make sure that I'm not exerting too much energy. There's another YouTube channel, Evan's Backpacking Videos, who he's currently hiking the Appalachian Trail. And in his videos, he's doing a very similar thing where when he's going up in elevation and gaining elevation on his hike, he's keeping his heart rate at a lower rate. And I think that's a really important thing because it does make a difference in how you feel out on the trail, especially at higher elevations. So when I go out on training hikes, I focus on not allowing my heart rate to get too high. I will check my heart rate, focus on it, and ensure that I keep it at kind of a steady level so I don't exert myself too far that it requires me to intake more water and exert more energy and calories than I have to be able to burn at that time. So that's really the basis behind that. That's really everything that I have to say about me preparing for backpacking or hiking at higher elevations. Again, I live at about 4,500 feet in elevation at my house, and often in driving up to 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet, even today at close to 11,000 feet in elevation. And so me acclimatizing to the elevation is a lot easier than it would be for like Tim and the Joshes, for example, that are going to be coming out. Make sure you check out their videos as well and see how they are preparing for this trip that we're going on and just high altitude hiking in general. But guys, super appreciate you watching. Please hit that subscribe button down at the bottom. The views, the comments, and just the support through subscribing and whatnot, sharing the videos, super appreciated. So with that, as always, have an awesome day. Catch you on the next one.